wir einmal zu Englisch. So, when talking about sovereignty, it's always a good idea to take Europe into focus and to think of Europe as a team, because, as you may know, teamwork makes the dream work. This is also the opinion of our next speaker. She is the president of Numeum, the French tech association, and she will present her idea of Team Europe, a united digital ecosystem instead of 27 solo players. So please join me in welcoming Véronique Torner.
Guten Tag, vielen Dank für die Einladung. I would like to warmly thank Bitkom for this invitation and for the opportunity to discuss these issues, which are essential for the future of digital technology in Europe. We are delighted to be working with you and to strengthen this European collective effort together. We often hear that tech is a race, and that tells you something. It is a race where everyone runs alone, head down, trying to beat the others. Every country for itself, every company for itself. But here is the truth. European tech can't be a solo sprint. European tech must be a team sport. I am Véronique Torner, president of Numeum, the professional organization of the digital ecosystem in France, representing more than 2,500 companies, representing 85% of the sector turnover, and 670,000 employees. And I am here to talk to you about how a European collective can truly compete. Let's be honest. The global tech race is being run by two giants, the United States and China. What about Europe? Not only we are falling behind, but every day the gap gets even wider. How can we address it? Well, today, we simply don't have the same firepower as the US and China. We can't produce global tech champions at the same rate, and the private investment we put into R&D is a mere fraction of what the US invests. In a global context increasingly shaped by US politics, where the only certainty is uncertainty, our dependency on others is not sustainable. The message is clear. This delay on tech is not a fatality. It's a warning, and it demands action fast. If tech is a sport, right now Europe is playing it wrong. We are solo players on a global pitch, each trying to dribble past giants many times our size. The only way to compete is to understand that our place is part of a larger collective, a Team Europe, with one game plan, one ambition, and one single market. Of course, we can work hand in hand with American partners or Chinese suppliers in a globalized market. But we also need a more balanced alternative than three American companies sharing 70% of the European cloud market. So, what's holding us back besides investments? Well, fragmentation doesn't make things easy. Our companies are forced to navigate 27 different transpositions of the same European regulations, 27 different playbooks, while our competitors advance quickly with one clear set of rules. If Europe wants to compete, we need to simplify, we need to harmonize, and we need to make true on the promise of a single European market. Of course, there is also the talent gap. We have the talents, but can't keep them in Europe. Over 60,000 French people are working right now in the Silicon Valley. Our brightest minds are leaving. We need to offer them more opportunities in Europe, in research and in tech companies. The current US administration wants to crack down on H-1B visas. This is an opportunity to provide our European talents with critical positions to kickstart an European tech renewal. It's been a year since the publication of the Draghi report. And in the meantime, the situation has only become more urgent. Mario Draghi himself recently stated that Europe is in an even more critical situation now than when his report was published. The message is clear. We have no choice but to accelerate. The Franco-German duo has always been a strong pillar. Numeum and Bitkom have worked closely for years. Now we aim to take this partnership to the next level. We must act now as a team, because that's what we are. And we, French and German companies, also need to start to look at each other as teammates. So, what does it look like in practice? Well, if we want to build a truly solid Team Europe, we need to understand the strengths of its core players. And if we, as France, are to help you orchestrate this team, you might want to know more about your teammate. Here is the thing about France. We are already generating real momentum. Our recent AI Action Summit demonstrated a massive, strong commitment. We saw 109 billion euros in private investments committed. That is not just potential, that is real firepower ready to transform our economy. The French tech sector is driven to disrupt and eager to push with the big players. Take a look at Mistral AI, the most advanced European player in generative AI, which just partnered with the Dutch giant SMAL and became a decacorn. But despite this momentum, we are also facing some headwinds. Our biggest barrier is instability, as you know. Frequent political shifts in France make companies cautious, delaying decisions, and keeping investments on the sidelines. What France needs most right now is stability, consistency, and a truly pro-digital policy. Even our most powerful innovation tool, the R&D tax credit, is under threat in budget debates. Weakening it would send the wrong signal to European investors and businesses. That is why I have been adamant to create the digital national team in France, l'équipe de France du numérique. This was a flagship project on my term and the result of nearly 2 years of negotiations to bring together the 70 organizations that are now members, whether directly involved or in a supporting role. With France taking the lead on Tech7 next year, it was critical to unite our strengths and set a shared purpose. This is not only a chance for France, but a real opportunity for Europe to carry together a shared European vision. And this is where the conversation needs to expand. A collective like the Digital National Team is not enough on its own. It's a French solution for a French problem. But like I said, the real challenge is European. We must now apply the same logic for our continent. And the real game changer is the Franco-German relationship. if tech is a team sport, it is our shared responsibility to orchestrate the collective. No single country can compete in this game alone. We must commend the European Commission's initiative to address the urgency of the Draghi report. But the scale of the challenges ahead is simply too big, too global, too fast-moving for us to stay on the same tracks. So, what does the European playbook look like? For me, it starts with 4 urgent priorities. First, securing our data. Europe cannot afford to let its most sensitive information be exposed to foreign laws like the US Cloud Act. We must guarantee cloud solutions that are legally safe from external risk. This means we must move forward with the European Cloud Act and implement a robust EUCS I+ certification for our most sensitive data. We must also actively support and champion our European cloud providers, such as Takit, Esner, OVH Cloud, and Outscale, and countless others who need clear rules and a supportive environment to grow. Second, defining our own standards. Standards are not just technical details. They are the DNA of our future. Every standard encodes a set of values. And if Europe wants technology to reflect our principles, privacy, transparency, sustainability, human dignity, then we must take responsibility for setting the rules. Third, creating value and jobs through ambitious public-private partnerships. And here, there is good news. Europe is mobilizing. The EU has just launched the AI Champions Initiatives, a 200 billion euro alliance bringing together more than 60 industrial and tech leaders, Airbus, L'Oréal, Mercedes, Siemens. This is a major signal. When Europe moves together, it can compete at scale. Fourth, making a clear choice for European preference. If we want true digital strategic autonomy, Europe must prioritize its own players, its own innovation, its own infrastructures. Public procurement, regulatory choices, and investment strategies should reflect this preference. Without it, all our strategies risk being just words without impact. You see where I'm getting at. To lead Team Europe, we need to start a movement. And that movement must begin at the very heart of Europe. The cooperation between Germany and France is key. It has always been the engine of European progress, and it remains essential if we want to give Europe the strength and balance it needs. We already see how Franco-German initiatives keep delivering momentum and opening new opportunities. Just last week in Brussels, the 3 governments of the Weimar Triangle came together. This is a good initiative, showing that when Germany and France take responsibility, they can also bring others on board and create formats that add fresh momentum to Europe's digital future. It starts with alignment. Too often, our national strategies run in parallel instead of converging. We need to pool our efforts on AI, semiconductors, and cloud infrastructure. It also means working together on talent. Europe produces brilliant engineers, researchers, and entrepreneurs, but too many leave to build their future elsewhere. And finally, it means proving the European cooperation is not just symbolic. It must deliver fast, visible results. This is why the summit of European digital sovereignty in November in Berlin is not just another date in the calendar. It is our decisive match, the moment when Germany and France must step up, show unity, and set the pace for the entire European team. If we seize this opportunity, Europe will not just try to catch up with others. We will define what trusted, innovative, and sovereign technology looks like. Not for 1 year, not for one mandate, but for decades. That is the meaning of Team Europe, a collective ambition, a shared playbook, a commitment to compete together and win together. Thank you very much.
Véronique Torner, thank you so much. And I think, yeah, there's a lot to achieve if we work together in Europe. And here at Smart Country Convention are a lot of booths from international and European examples, so feel free to stroll around, check them out, so that we can work together to be a European digital sovereign unity. And now we